D, all of the above. If you're watching online, please do not be paying attention to the man behind the other mic, Rick. Once again, I hear someone calling already, but they might not get it. Which of the following is a corporal work of mercy? A, feed the hungry. B, give drink to the thirsty. C, shelter the homeless. Or D, all of the above. That number to call in for your answer or call to give us a pledge is 785-621-4110. All right. Now that we have got that going, I wanted to introduce Mr. Rick Binder. Let me get his mic turned on here. And we weren't sure, I guess, until, was it today that you knew who was coming in, or?
No, I've known the parent group that's coming in for
he just didn't share it with us because that's how Rick works. But we are blessed to have Rick and some guests in here, and they're going to be talking about the Samaritan House in Denver. And this is something, that was started last year with TMP being able to help support and make sure that our young people had an opportunity to go serve those in need in a different community. So, we want to get them in here, welcome them in. And Rick, is there anything you wanted to say before we start off?
Yeah, just a couple of things, Cody. Number one, hello to my good friend. I don't get to see you very often since you're not my neighbor right next door in the classroom anymore. I miss seeing you every day at school. And I pray that all is well with you and your family and your new position at St. Nick's. So,
Thank you.
Miss you very much. And want to also say I'm rather humbled that I'm following the hour right behind Brian and Michelle DeWitt. Great people. I couldn't begin to tell you all the great things that they did for CYO all those years I was there, and all the time they spent just behind the scenes doing whatever they could to help and make things go smoothly. And what a great people to be in charge of our Perpetual Adoration Chapel. So great people. So Cody, we're trying to get service to be a little bit more a part of what we do at TMP. And when I say that, TMP has always done a great job of getting their students to do service, but kind of trying to get it to be more of it's who we are versus something we do. And, in the past, kids had to go out and do service, and they did a great job of that. But I really want to establish the idea it's our identity. It's not just something we check a box and go and do, but it's truly who God created us to be, is to go out and to give shelter to the homeless, to feed the hungry, to give drink to the thirsty, because we're compelled to do that out of love.
Yeah.
Because God so loved us. So we're providing different opportunities than we have in the past, a little bit more on a larger scale than just within the local community. And one of those things is giving students and parents the opportunity to go to Denver to serve at the Samaritan House homeless shelter that is run by Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Denver. I have had a long connection with them. I've gone out there many times with adults. Some of the listeners may say, oh yeah, I've been out there and served out there.
Yeah.
I've taken students out there. But a year ago, we made the decision to make this opportunity available to our 8th grade students. It's just a weekend, so it's not a full-blown week-long mission commitment. It's something they can kind of get their feet wet on. They can experience a little bit of it, see some things we wouldn't normally see in Hays, Kansas, interact with people that really help us appreciate our blessings in life, but also see Christ in them, and hopefully they see Christ in us and recognize that all of us are created in the likeness and image of God, and our dignity comes from God, not our station in life, whether we have a nice roof over our heads or whether we're homeless. And so helping them understand that, because it is 8th graders going, it does require that one of their parents must be on the trip with them. They can't stay overnight without one of their parents. Great opportunity for families to experience this. We are trying to do this once a month during the school year, September through April. This last year was our first year. We covered 5 of the 8 months. This year we have 8 of the 8 months covered, and excitement for it. I took some 7th grade girls to deliver Meals on Wheels today, and those girls were already talking about, next year we get to go to the Samaritan House, right?
Oh, wow.
So we're really getting there to this excitement of it's what we want to do with our lives. It's who we are.
That's a blessing. Yeah.
So that's kind of the background on it. I just wanted to introduce that to you and to everybody. Now I'm going to let Amy Church and her daughter Alyssa and son Aiden Church.
Uh-huh.
Alyssa is actually a high school student, but we let her go because her younger brother is an 8th grader and he went. And so she got to go along with her mom and brother.
Okay.
But typically this is for 8th graders as much as possible.
Okay.
And then we also have Rebecca Stein and her daughter Geraldine Stein.
Okay.
And they have some great stories. I know you have some questions for them, but Cody, just a real quick heads up.
Yes.
If Rebecca doesn't bring it up, just ask her to share her story about, the woman she met in the Women of the Holy Rosary shelter, and tell her she needs to share that story.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We
All
will
right.
do that.
I'll let you cover the
Okay.
microphone while I invite them in.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Rick, for that introduction here to our group that's coming in and to what we'll be speaking about. Quickly, as they get in here, I want to congratulate Bridget Staub. She is the trivia winner for this last hour of the day. So we will get you put into that drawing, Bridget, and we will draw that at the end of this hour. Get somebody that $50 gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. Okay, you are listening to the Fall Care-a-Thon here at Divine Mercy Radio. His mercy endures forever is our theme, and what an awesome theme we have. We are getting ready to talk with some of the students and parents who have traveled out to the Samaritan house in Denver and ministered to the homeless there. But as we are talking, I want you to really pay attention to the blessing that we have with these radio waves, and understand that all of you who are listening, all of you who donate, all of you who are thinking about donating, that is what we are able to do with those dollars, is get these messages out there. And so we're able to be on the air with these young people and let them talk about how this has maybe changed their lives, only because you guys support us. So please continue to do so. Call in to 785-621-4110 with your pledges. So we got some people in here. If you guys want to get the mics closer to you, because sometimes it's hard to hear. So yeah, you got to get closer when you're speaking. And maybe we'll get some questions going here. Anybody could kind of answer them. I see the moms are actually standing at the back. If you guys are watching, so we're live also, in case any of you didn't know, wave. Yeah, there you go. All right. We are on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on Rumble. So you can tune in and make them even more nervous. So let's get started then. Absolutely. That's the best thing about being behind the mic. All right. We are talking about the Samaritan house, about all of you have traveled out there. All of you have ministered to the homeless people out there. Why would you do something like that? Go. Who are you?
I'm Geraldine Stein.
Okay, thanks, Geraldine.
I thought it would just be fun to go and have a new experience of something like we've never done before, and share I don't know the word for it. I just feel like it would share some happiness and give some kindness to people.
Awesome. So, we've been talking about the corporal and spiritual works of mercy today. And so obviously you guys fulfilled a lot of those. And so I think that you probably did bring some happiness and joy to those people. So that's a blessing. What do the rest of you say?
I just thought it would be a great experience that we don't get to experience here in Hayes.
Okay. Any reason why Aiden? Because Aiden didn't announce his name. So,
oops.
Yeah. Any specific reason why that you thought maybe this would be a great thing to experience as a young person?
No, not really. Just since there's an opportunity, I took it.
Okay. Aiden runs for me, and so he gets punished a lot. And so maybe he was just like, I need to get as far away from Mr. Marinzer as possible.
No, that is not true.
Oh, no, he actually likes running. So that is awesome. All right. Moms, do you have anything to say on that? Yeah, I think a mom should probably have to share something.
Our daughter just, Rebecca Stein. Our daughter expressed an interest, and we try to accommodate that. I was still hesitant to actually sign up, and then I walked out of Holy Family, and Amy snagged me and said, "Hey, what are you doing on this weekend?" The rest is history.
Yeah, Amy's very good about that. Yes,
She was excellent.
absolutely. So Amy, what about you?
I think it just puts a whole new meaning. We pray for the homeless, we pray for the hungry. When we go to church, the kids pray at school, but until you really see that in person, and in Hayes, we don't see that as like you do
Yeah.
in Denver. I think it just puts a whole new perspective on it when you actually see those types of people and see them suffering and see them hungry and be able to offer them food and clothing and shelter.
Yeah. Wow. Alyssa, what about you?
I thought it would be, like they said, a good experience. And since my brother was going, I was given the opportunity to tag along. And I'm really glad I did because it was a really good experience.
Okay, awesome. And I won't make you all answer every single question, but it's nice for people to at least hear your voice and know who you are, and kind of start hearing from you. Plus, it helps you to be a little bit less nervous or more nervous. I don't know. But one way or another, we get you on the air. Really quickly, I want to break in and thank Brian and Michelle DeWitt, who were just here. God bless them. They donated $1,000, and the Adoration Chapel gave $500. So that is that is such a blessing. But don't be thinking that you have to give 1,000, you have to give 500. By all means, if God is asking you to do that, please do that. But it's every donation that counts, every donation that matters. So thank you very much to the Adoration Chapel, to Brian and Michelle, and to everybody who's donated today. Please continue to make those donations, keep coming in. We want to get rid of as many of these matching funds as possible. What that means with a matching fund is you give, Brian and Michelle, as they gave $1,000, that just became $2,000. So we just actually went down underneath the $20,000 mark for those matching funds by that. And so we want to make sure that we use those people's money wisely. They really want you to give. They want that money to be matched. And so call in 785-621-4110, because the more you call in and the more you donate, the more that these people that I have on right now are less nervous because they don't have to spend all their time on the radio. So we'll try to break the nervousness here a little bit. For anybody who wants to answer, we in these situations, I think we all go in with some sort of expectation. What expectations did you guys have about the trip? Good or bad? What were you thinking as you were going into it?
I thought that we would just serve the people and they would eat and leave. I had no idea that they stayed there for the night.
Yeah. So a little bit of what Aiden is talking about is the Samaritan house. They have different levels. I got to go with my son last year. And so, yeah, depending on what level you're in, you're allowed to stay there for a certain amount of time. But then they also have, which the moms can answer, did you moms get to go down and serve the specifically homeless shelter? Okay, and so they did, and we'll let them talk about this a little bit. But that shelter in the bottom part then is a truly completely homeless. They aren't even staying in the upstairs part for a while. They come in and at night and have to leave in the morning, and that turnover is every single day. And so just to give people kind of an idea of what it looks like when you are going there. What did any of the rest of you think? What were your expectations? Anybody else who wanted to speak to that?
I kind of thought what Aiden thought is if we'd go there and we'd serve and then they would leave or we would leave. I did think I went in knowing that some of them stayed there. It seemed like a lot of work making the food, and just knowing that like the cooks and the chefs spent all their time doing this for the people, and it was just really heartwarming to know
Absolutely.
that they do this to help each other.
Okay. Do you remember the head chef? What was his name?
His name was Sam.
Okay.
I loved Sam. Sam was so great.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy that was there when I was there.
Yeah.
Yes, and he is a great guy. Absolutely. Once you guys were there, then, you guys all had we all do have some sort of expectation. Was there anything that was, Aiden spoke a little bit to, I didn't know that some of them actually stay there. Was there anything else that you weren't expecting that you experienced while you were there?
I didn't expect that we would like help prep food for future meals. I thought we'd just get there and they'd give us food and then we'd serve it. And I also didn't expect to see so many kids. There were a lot of like young kids there with their parents.
Yeah. So one of those things that Alyssa is talking about is, did you guys help make the sandwiches?
We helped like
Okay.
prep things
Uh-huh.
like
There was a lot of
the
onions.
night before, like one of the nights when we were serving, another few of us would be like laying out the bacon. That's something me and Aiden did for breakfast in the morning. We did cut up a lot of onions. I guess they make a lot of meals with that because they're easy to like get. Or yeah.
So you were crying a lot.
See, that's the funny part because a lot of them did cry and I had to switch out Aiden a lot because I didn't cry as much until like the last day when they like moved them into a back corner and then it was just kind of like compact and then there wasn't air. So like, yeah, then it started to get to me, but
Gotcha.
yeah, a lot of them did.
Aiden looked like he wanted to say something. What did you want to say?
It's not my fault I have allergies.
That's awesome. So I asked about sandwiches because when we were there, did they talk to you guys about the sandwiches that the people get? Every day, if they live there, they're allowed to go to their job while taking a sack lunch. And so we made, I think, 300 sandwiches. And they go through those within a couple of days, and so it's amazing how much food actually is prepared and is actually given out to them, and you don't think about that also that, yeah, these aren't just homeless people that have nowhere to go, but some of them are in that transitional stage where they then do help them to, here's a lunch to take with you so that you can have a job and get yourself bettered and get out of this situation. And that was awesome. And I also remember that I beat Carson Pinkney at cracking all of our eggs. So did you guys get to crack like 300 eggs at one time? Or?
That was something we did with like onions and potatoes.
Okay.
Is who could like peel them the fastest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won against Rick.
Everything is a competition, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but like I won and he also cheated by putting one of his onions in my area and I still won. So yeah. Good at working, I guess.
Okay. So you probably can't share names or anything like that necessarily, but is there anybody that while you guys were there really stuck out to you? Anybody that you really connected with or anything like that? Any stories you could share with us about that?
Rebecca and I did have a lady that seen a sign that said rosary. And she asked us, she came up and said, what is a rosary? And so we tried to explain it to her. And then one of the workers said, well, there's one right there hanging up. So we grabbed it. We showed her. We explained to her what it was for. And the worker said she could keep it. So we offered it to her. And she first said, what did she say to us?
She said that she needed to get her life straightened out first
before she took it. And we just said, it's okay. Take it with you. Put it in your pocket when you're ready. And so we tried to explain to her what a rosary was and teach her that. And she was extremely grateful.
Yeah. I really had the impression that she was new at
being home.
She was very emotional. She wasn't hardened like some of the women that we've seen that, obviously did it every day.
So was this down in the
yes.
Come in at night? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's so much that we can learn from one another. And so glad that you guys shared that because look at that situation and look how much we're a lot like that too. How many times are we, I was talking with another guest earlier about this. How many times are we, well, I will take care of this. I'll do it. right? Like under my own power. And here you guys are trying to offer her probably the most important thing. It is the most important thing she could have been doing at that time, is praying. Even if she didn't know how to do it, simply lifting her mind up to the Lord. But that's us too, is very often we don't take prayer as our first means. We're like, well, I'll get things in line first. I don't really want to bother God with this, or maybe we even think like, well, he's not going to listen to me because I'm such a mess right now. Like, no, that's absolutely the time we need to be going, Lord, I'm a mess. You please take care of me. And so, Rick asked me to ask you about that. Is that the one that you were supposed to tell, or
she's got another story to tell?
Okay, good. So she looks a little bit, Rebecca looks a little bit shy about coming up to the mic on this one. So I have no idea what to expect. I've not heard this story, but now I want to.
So my only excuse is that we were from Western Kansas. It would have been,
it was genuine.
Saturday evening. We went down and they had not opened the doors yet to the women to come in for the night. Amy started handing out sheets. They had workers that were going through people's bags because they look for like drug paraphernalia, lighters, knives, that kind of thing. I had the wand. I was supposed to be scanning everybody down as they came through the door. And I had this lovely lady. I don't know where my mind was. I must have let it wander. She walked toward me and she had her arms up and open and she had a smile on her face. And so I gave her a hug while holding my wand. And she told me, she goes, "Oh, aren't you a nice one?" And I was like, and then Amy looks at me and she goes, "Did you know her?" No. And the poor worker, Mike, was just like, okay, that's the first that's happened. So,
that is so awesome though, because I do have to say that is awesome, because here's what I think. How many people would have seen that as this lady wants a hug? And God bless you if that's a Western Kansas thing, because I'm a Western Kansas person, and but I really do think that's awesome, because that's what Christ would have done. Yes, I know that we have to be careful, and we've got to follow protocols and stuff like that. But maybe that's what that lady needed more than anything else, was she needed to encounter Christ, and you were just like, come on in.
right.
It was so genuine. It was, watching it from a distance, I really did for a second think, does she know somebody? But that hug was genuine on both ends.
Yeah,
it was amazing to watch.
And then Rick, of course, went and shared that with his classes.
Oh, absolutely.
So then my kids came home and they're like, "Mom, what happened?"
I would expect nothing less out of him. Yeah. Did you guys get to make interactions then with some of the employees there, the
Yes.
cooks and stuff like that? And can you tell me anything about that?
I honestly felt like that was one of the biggest blessings of the whole trip. I went expecting to serve the homeless and these, the less fortunate. And I really felt like it was the workers that we connected with that
we were actually helping.
Yeah.
Some of the stories they told us, and we said, "And you came back?" And she's like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah. Wow, Aiden, you look like Aiden is function at the bit here. He's like, "I got something to say."
Yes.
He's ready.
All right, get on there.
So the cooks, one of them was actually from like Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that he chops better when he's looking up and talking to someone, not even looking at the knife.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he really do that?
Yes.
And he didn't lose a
Yes.
finger.
He did
Nope.
not.
Don't try that at home, kids.
Yes.
That is my disclaimer.
And also, one of them actually lived there before,
Uh-huh.
and then he actually got a job cooking for the place.
Yep.
And then
Tall, skinny, white guy. Is this the same dude I met?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
Most
Okay, yeah.
likely.
Okay, maybe the same guy that he had fallen into some problems with drugs, if my memory serves me correctly, and so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to ask, is because exactly, some of the people that we were working with, that you worked with, later we found out that, oh my goodness, they actually came through this program. So it's nice to see when it works, and that there are people that it's genuinely helping. So, Geraldine, you look like you wanted to say
What?
something. No?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them looked like Rick talked about it a bit when we were there. Like they do have, like, some of them do have money, they just can't pay rent in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can have all this nice stuff, but they're still here. And it's like, you would never like imagine how someone can look this good but be here, but you also don't know the circumstances of like other people. So
Yeah. I think that's a really great lesson, is be careful about who we're judging in our own mind, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And I found the same thing. This one lady, I actually got to work in that the bottom shelter, and this one lady came in, and she seemed to be kind of all dolled up, but then she was in the corner just talking to herself and making noises and stuff, and so be careful about making those initial judgments of like, wow, just be careful with that. I wanted to say really quickly that Allison Ochoa is watching on Facebook Live and says, we're listening and praying for all of you. Thank you for blessing us with this sharing of your experiences. So there are people out there watching us. All right, in case you forgot. And now, Rebecca just all of a sudden was like, oh no, I got nervous again.
you're like,
Oh, that is fantastic. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Fall Care-a-Thon, and our theme for that is His Mercy Endures Forever. I want to encourage you listeners to write down these numbers, put them in your phone. Actually, it's better if you put them in your phone because then you have them right there. But if you would like to call in with a pledge, our number is 785-621-4110. Also, while we're talking with these wonderful guests, you could call in to 785-621-5061 and send in a question for them, or text a question to 785-656-0150. Please feel free to do that. We don't really have that happen very often. And so it's pretty awesome when it does. Once again, those numbers are 785-621-4110 to make a pledge, 785-621-5061 for an on-air question, or text to 785-656-0150. So I want to get back to all of the wonderful folks who served at the Samaritan house here. We've got some students at TMP and their moms that are here with them. And so maybe break back into with asking, was there anything that you learned, skills or anything from school that maybe came in handy while serving? Or we can, I think, go vice versa also. Was there anything that you learned while on the trip that you brought back with you? Alyssa's got something for us.
So for the stuff I learned in school, so I'm taking Spanish 2 right now, and I used a lot of Spanish while serving because there were a lot of people there that spoke Spanish and like didn't understand English.
So you were able to converse with them a little bit.
Uh-huh.
That is a blessing, because I can't.
Even if like I didn't know the word, like for a certain food, like couldn't think of it, I just point to it and be like, "You want uno or dos?" And they tell me, and it was just like, even though I like didn't like, if I couldn't think of the word,
very helpful when they wanted milk.
I'm sure they were very thankful that someone was there that could like speak a little bit of Spanish.
That is really cool. All right. Props, Miss Pinckney. Way to go. A way to help this young lady out. That is absolutely awesome. Then anybody else on that one?
Did you get extra credit for that?
I don't think so.
I think you should. Mrs. Pinckney should definitely be offering extra credit for that work done. Now it's out on the airwaves. I mean, and Facebook Live. So let's put it the other way then. What is something that you guys experienced, learned, did there that you think you brought back with you and you will now carry on going forward from this moment?
I think there was like a lot of humility that you had to have or like just like to reflect on yourself, like these people need a lot more help than you do right now. And
Wow.
like you don't know what others could be going through, and it could be worse or better than your situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a mom, I've gotten a little stricter about wasting food. We really think now before we throw away food, like there are people that would eat this.
Yeah.
So just teaching the kids that valuable lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. It is left overnight. Deal with it.
Yes.
Aiden's looking at me like, no. No, that is a blessing to come away with, because especially, you know, for you moms who served down in that level, these women come in with maybe a suitcase, you know, and that's every night, even during the winter. You know, you're looking at people who come in for the night. And for those who haven't experienced it or don't know the process, I didn't know the process before I got there. There's obviously only a certain number of beds. And so you get in line and you see these ladies lined up a long time before they're allowed to come in. And if you are let's say that there's 60 beds. I don't remember how many there are. But if you're 61, you just don't get a bed for the night. I mean, that's just it. You just now have to stay out on the streets. And that's so eye-opening, you know, is a situation like that. And looking at them like, how do you even continue to survive, you know, in elements like this with that suitcase of stuff, and that's it, you know?
There were 2 ladies that someone let in on a side door when we were there, and the workers made them leave because they had already reached max capacity. And it just broke my heart. And I'm like, can we take them food? Can we take them a blanket? And I mean, I know they have their rules and they do what they need to do for the people there. But I just, for several, I mean, I still think of those 2 ladies. I just wanted to go outside, pick them up, bring them inside, squeeze them in somewhere. But I know they have their rules of, I think it was 50 that they take.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is tough to see that, but you're right. Yeah. I mean, at some point, that's all the resources you have and you don't have any more. And so I think that is what made it so difficult is then, you know, what can we do? Maybe that's another thing to bring back with us. What can we do with the resources we have? We may not be able to serve everybody, but who can we serve? Aiden, what were your thoughts?
Wasn't there another story that you told us down there
What was it
with the
about?
wand?
No.
The wand?
Yeah, that
What
was
was
the
that?
one.
That was
Oh,
No,
I
no,
heard a
another one.
story about how you guys had to throw out food. Yeah.
That was heartbreaking.
So Saturday
No.
night, we helped with serving dinner down with the women, and we ran out of the main course. So if they weren't, you know, at a certain place in line, they just didn't get it. And then anything left over has to be thrown away after a certain time. And I think that about broke Amy's heart.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. That, you know, one thing that I've learned too is just because you're homeless doesn't mean that you like everything.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, that it's tough to come to that realization because you think you would be like, well, I would eat anything in sight. Well, you can't force yourself to like something. You can force it down. But yeah, I saw the same thing too, is some women came up and you could almost see their eyes melt a little bit, you know, like, you know, what do I do now? And so, yeah. I want to break in really quickly and get to our second trivia question. Sorry, you guys can't answer this because you're in the studio and you can see the answer. So we're going to have to let just the people out there on the airwaves be able to answer this one. So you have to be 16 years old or younger to answer this. Okay. The question is, Jesus said of the corporal works of mercy, amen, I say to you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for, and you got to fill in the blank there. Is it A, me, B, my father, C, my disciples? All these kids in here want to answer it. So you're going to have to call in and beat them to it. The number to call in is 785-621-4110, 16 years old or younger. Jesus said of the corporal works of mercy, amen, I say to you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for blank. Is it A, me, B, my Father. C, my disciples. We got the phone ringing. I almost accidentally said it. But I'm sure that someone is going to get it here pretty quickly. Call into that same number with your pledges, 785-621-4110. You have blessed us very much today. Let's finish out this day strong. All right, we're in talking with some students and their parents about ministering at the Samaritan House in Denver. And they've given us already some insight into their experience, people they have met, and things they did, lessons that maybe they'll bring home. Some of the other things that we haven't really spoken about yet are what are some of the other things that you guys did while you were in Denver?
We went to the Mother Cabrini Shrine,
Uh-huh.
and we walked up all the stairs and back, and like
I ran.
I did too.
We both.
There's a lot of stairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We tried running and regretted it.
No, I didn't. I ran up those stairs. I fell down once. And then we stayed up
Purposely
there.
so that you could take a break or on accident?
Both.
And what was the water fountain thing called that we drank from?
Oh,
The,
the
Oh, yeah,
living
that's-
springs thing?
Yeah, that's the Miraculous Spring by Mother Cabrini. Yeah. Yeah. So that was a pretty cool thing to experience there too. Anything you guys took from the Cabrini Shrine, not like stole, but anything that you thought was neat, important, or anything like that?
Well, we actually got like little relics.
Uh-huh.
2 of them. One of them was like a medallion that you can put on a necklace.
Yeah.
I have one. I think is it that one that I put on my necklace?
And okay, so Geraldine actually has hers. You probably can't. She can't walk up to the computer and like, let me stretch my neck out here. Okay. And Aiden, what else?
It was this like saint card with another relic on it.
Okay.
So
Fantastic. And then did you guys, you said you got to drink out of the spring?
yeah.
All right. So that spring, correct me if I'm wrong, has been attributed to miraculous healings and things like that before. And the story behind the spring is, you guys can help me out here if you read the story or listened to it or anything. But I believe, when Mother Cabrini and her sisters were first there, they had to travel a very long way to be able to get water. And at one time, she went up on the top of this hill, which is why there are so many stairs leading up there. It is a long way. And do you guys remember the rest of the story? It's like where she planted her staff down or something, and water flowed from that spot. Or help me out here.
There's rocks in the shape of a heart.
Uh-huh.
And she told them to right there is water. And those rocks are still there. It's covered now with
Glass.
Yeah.
And like a
Okay,
railing. Some people put like money on it, and others will just take pictures or look at it.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. But that's the spring anyway. You can go there and you can get Mother Cabrini water. And so that's the exact same spring that's been running since that day. And so water there, that's a pretty cool thing that we got to experience. Alyssa, did you have something you wanted to say?
I have another place we visited. So another place that we visited that I really enjoyed was we went to visit the seminarians at the seminary house. And I really thought that was cool because like at every school mass we always pray for the seminarians and those that graduated from CMP. So it's cool to actually like meet one of them in person. We met Cade.
Oh yeah.
So
Good.
it was cool to meet him because we always like pray for them
Yep.
at mass.
Kate is there. Max is there. Yeah. Fantastic.
Adam.
Is Adam Urban at that one also now too?
I think so.
Okay. I don't always remember where all of them are at, but yeah, that is quite a blessing. Did Kate get to lead you guys around the grounds and stuff for a little bit?
The tour of it.
Okay. So what was maybe different about what you thought about a seminary as to then when he led you around? All right, good. Aiden's a good one to answer this.
I didn't think they had a hangout area, but they did.
Yeah, it was
And
a pretty cool one.
They had a pool table, like
Yeah.
air hockey, darts,
Yeah.
foosball, and a little TV area.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they had a barber shop. area.
I saw that too. Yeah. So it's not just 24/7 studies. There is some time to actually have fun, huh? That is pretty cool.
Geraldine also wanted to remind me that we did a rosary outside of Planned Parenthood, and everybody, is that
Yes.
the one we took turns leading? Rick made us all take turns. And then we stopped over at the Marisol house, which is actually on the same block but across the street. And they minister to pregnant women that are expecting, and they actually had a victory wall with babies, a bunch of pictures of the babies
Oh,
that
that is
they
awesome.
had
And
helped.
they like helped with like pills and stuff.
Yes,
So
we did.
they one of the things that I would kind of like to bring up about that is the house that you're talking about wasn't finished when we went last year, but it's my understanding that one is a very quaint place.
It
It's
is.
not huge.
No.
And so my understanding is there's kind of a stark difference, because when you're praying across the street from that Planned Parenthood, this thing is just a huge building. It's ugly. You can almost feel the darkness coming off of it.
It's hard to
Um,
stand across from it knowing what happens.
It is very hard to stand across from it. Exactly. And so you're praying there, you're praying for conversion of hearts. You're praying for those people who perform the abortions, because they obviously don't know what they are doing. And if they do, it's even worse. And you're praying for all those mothers who think they have no other choice. So you're praying for all of that. But I didn't get to experience then going to the other side and experiencing that house. So can you guys tell me, so that maybe I can get a glimpse through you as to what was that like?
One of the rooms that has an ultrasound machine, because it's proven that once you hear the heartbeat and see the baby, you're less likely to have an abortion.
Uh-huh.
The room that they do that in, right above it, is the chapel.
Oh my.
And so that was just neat to hear. And then when you go up to the chapel, they have a small little chapel. When you look out the window,
You see Planned Parenthood.
you see Planned Parenthood.
But the way they
Okay.
have it
But
set up,
the Eucharist
Jesus is
facing
facing.
Planned Parenthood.
Oh wow.
So,
Put him on
Yeah.
display and let him go to
Yes,
work.
uh-huh.
Oh,
But it was
my.
a gorgeous little house. I think they had 2 rooms that they can use to see ladies.
yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine, but what is this victory wall that you were talking
Up
about?
the staircase is, I don't know, maybe 100 pictures of
Probably.
babies, all the babies that they have saved.
Oh
The
my,
mothers,
that is awesome.
changed their mind and came there and got the help. And it's just breathtaking.
Yeah. That is I use this term loosely. That is a great experience. Not in great that it's fun to go pray in front of Planned Parenthood, because it's not, but it's very much needed. But it's a great experience, especially for us here, because we hear a lot about Planned Parenthood. We talk a lot about Planned Parenthood and, the evil that they bring about, but we don't actually see it here in Hayes. We don't see it hardly ever where we're going. And so to actually be right there across from it is very sobering, to really stand there and go, what's going on right now, and so that's a great lesson for all of us to take back. But I'm so glad that what's that house called?
Marisol.
The Marisol house. I'm so glad that they have that now.
Even in the backyard, there was a walking
Rosary.
rosary
Garden, right?
and a meditation garden. Or was that
think
at the
so.
Cabrini? It was a gorgeous backyard, because we came in from the back and we entered through the backyard.
Okay.
And it's just gorgeous.
Fantastic.
And we
Tell me.
we actually picked up trash along a road.
In front of Marisol.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no,
Why'd they ask
Two.
us to do that?
Because
The lady working at Marisol asked us for service work if we would pick up some
Uh-huh.
trash, because their bishop was coming to do a procession around their building. So she wanted
Oh wow.
it cleaned up. So
Okay.
we did that.
Fantastic. So he was coming to do a Eucharistic
Like the
procession.
following weekend. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. So anybody out there listening to that, please be praying for that. We didn't have an abortion facility here in Hayes, but we did have a Planned Parenthood facility here in Hayes. But as a lot of people don't even know that, but it is now where Catholic Charities is. So that's pretty awesome that we won that battle. There were lots of us that went down there and prayed in front of it for years and witnessed and even, had some conversations with people who went in there. And thanks be to God, Planned Parenthood is out of our community. And so Jesus wins the day. Pray for that to happen there too. How awesome would it be to see, the Marisol house, the procession of Christ going around in that neighborhood wins the day because of our prayers and because of the witness that we're able to put forth. So please be praying for that to happen there. I want to break in really quickly. We have just a little bit of time left, but I wanted to congratulate Andrew Ochoa. He's the trivia winner there. Well known to all of us in here. Congratulations, Andrew. We'll get you, we'll actually be drawing here within about 10 minutes. And then thank you very much to Alan and Kim Rohr, who donated $500. That once again is matched. So that just became $1,000 for those matching funds today. At the end of the day, I think Lester and Donetta will come in here in just a little bit. They'll give us those final totals. But if you're listening, let's see what we can do to get just a little bit more in there. We started off the day with over $30,000 of matching funds. We're down to under 20. We want to use up as much as possible and get us toward that final goal of $125,000. And it would be awesome to send Donetta out with a bang. This is her last Care-a-Thon as our director. And we really would love to get there and show her the appreciation we have for everything she has done and all of the time and commitment she's put into this station. So call into 785-621-4110 with those donations. We have just a little bit of time here left. And so I maybe want to ask then, to close us out, we have about 5 minutes. What would you guys say for what was the best experience for you?
Just being able to be there and serve them and just seeing how thankful they were just for the fact that they were there. We had a lot of people come through and they were like, thank you for being here and serving. And it was just really nice to see that they were so thankful just to have people there to help serve.
That's awesome.
I just enjoyed getting to go to all the special places because we don't really have anything like that in Hayes that we can go to. So I thought it was cool that we got to go to all the places.
Yeah, we do have those community meals, but nothing to the extent like what that is like. So we do have some things that we could help with here, but that's obviously a very important thing. Geraldine?
I think the best part for me was knowing that we could help them, just everyone who was there during the experience, the cooks and the people going by. They seemed to really enjoy having conversations as they went through, or just saying good morning or have a good lunch, breakfast, dinner. Any of it, they would just smile and say it back or something, and it was really nice.
Yeah, that is awesome. That human interaction is always an absolutely amazing thing for us and for them. And so I'm going to ask the mom something just a little bit different. Yep, putting them on the spot here. That's what they get for being moms. All right, you're used to nervousness. Where do you think you most saw Christ in this weekend?
Marisol house. For
Okay.
me, the Marisol house just hit.
For me, it was the fellowship with Rick, with Amy, with the kids. It was really nice.
As you come back home, then, does this change anything in your lives? If so, how? And what's a good way to make sure that it continues and that it doesn't just fizzle? What would any of you say?
I hope this made my kids feel a little more grateful for what they have. We saw a lady downstairs with pants too big and she needed pants and she made them work. She asked us for scissors. She made another slit. She moved it over.
She was handy.
She figured out how to make these pants that were twice her size fit her so she would be warm. And for our kids, they have what they need to survive.
Yeah.
I don't think they think twice sometimes. So I hope that this just makes them think, maybe I could be on the street someday. Maybe I could be somebody without clothes or food, and just be grateful for what they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because those guys can't just
Yeah.
go to the refrigerator if they don't like what's for supper, or
Yes.
just go grab a snack. You either
Mhm.
eat what you have or you go hungry.
Yeah. And teenagers eat about every 2 hours.
Yes.
Yes, I think we
Accurate.
all know that. Okay. Any last thoughts? We got about 60 seconds here. Do any of you have anything that you want to share before you get out of here? Because you're like, Jesus wants you to know this.
I just recommend this. I enjoyed going with both my kids. I'm glad Alyssa, even though she's in high school, got to go because her 8th grade year, they didn't do this program.
Uh-huh.
I totally recommend this. Going with your child, seeing them grow, seeing them. I mean, I was just so shocked by watching both my kids be so giving and serving and enjoying their time.
That's wonderful.
I think it showed a lot of what some people take for like granted, like at school, how
Uh-huh.
some kids wouldn't say like thank you like after getting their meal. Like everyone there had amazing manners and was so kind and like genuine about things.
Wow.
And I thought it just like a lot of people here aren't doing that, and it's like how could you not?
Wow. Yeah. How can we not be thankful for everything we have? That is an absolutely great message. Thank you so very much. Yes. For the relationships, for everything that we are blessed with. Thank God every day for that. Well, thank you so very much. We are blessed by your presence here today. We appreciate you guys coming in. It's not always easy to hop on the air and talk about things, but thank you. You've blessed us. Please continue to pray for us and everybody out there. Pray for them. Pray for this ministry. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you,
Thank you. All right. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Fall Care-a-Thon. And our theme for this Care-a-Thon is His Mercy Endures Forever. You are listening to 101.7 KJDM Lindsborg and Salina, 105.7 KMDG Hayes, 88.1 KRTT Great Bend, 88.1 KVDM Hayes, and 89.1 KGOH Colby. Thank you, everybody, so much for everything that you're doing, for your prayers, for your donations. In just a minute here, we're going to get Lester and Danetta in here. We're going to get some final numbers on our donations today. We're going to draw for that trivia winner. So please stay on here. Let's see if we've got Lester. We'll get Lester in here. Get a move on. All right. Let me turn on a microphone here. We'll put him on mic 3 here. So first, we're going to get some final numbers for the day. Yep. That mic there.
All right. The total for the day, and this includes what we started with at 8,900, whatever,
Okay.
and added in the matching funds and everything. We're at $34,185. That's a really
Okay.
good start for the.
Fantastic.
the
We need a
first
little
day.
bell or a whistle or something.
It gets annoying after a while.
Well, then we'll just say woohoo.
We put it in the drawer.
All right. The bell stays away.
And as far as matching funds, we have $19,064 left for that.
Very
tomorrow
Okay.
morning.
Day.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
Very
day, good
wonderful
first
day.
Okay,
Thank you,
Cody,
folks.
Close your eyes. Reach in.
Stir them up.
I did. I've been stirring him. So
All right. Let's see who we got here.
just take one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do I got one? Got
Yep.
one.
All right.
All right. Looks like Lorraine Brungart is
All
our
right.
winner. So,
All right,
Lorraine,
Lorraine,
you will get that
congratulations.
$50 gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts. And I'll let Lester and Danetta close us off with anything that they want to say and a final prayer.
Just a big thank you. Thank you, Cody. It was a great day.
Absolutely.
And thank you to all of our listeners and our donors and all the people who took the time to come on the air and prepare. That always takes time. So thanks a bunch. And then I'll let you end in prayer.
All righty. Well, we've
We got a
about
couple
5
minutes.
minutes
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we
Oh,
have
we
time
do?
if there's anything else you want to talk about. Do you have a list of maybe who's going to be on tomorrow morning?
I bet Danetta has that
It's a new
somewhere.
packet.
I
It's-
put a
Oh, here.
Wednesday list in there.
somewhere.
Well, we'll-
At
So-
the back of your thing.
Really quickly, just to let people know, because this would be
grab mine.
good, something
Here it
good
is.
to remind them of, is when you give to the station, if you give $250 or more, you are automatically put into you actually automatically get a Divine Mercy radio oven mitt. You are entered into a drawing for a ladies' white 14-karat band fashion ring, a Bose smart speaker, a handmade ladder rosary, a $100 gift certificate to Katz Hallmark, a $100 gift certificate to Hickok Steakhouse, a men's long sleeve shirt with the Divine Mercy radio and logo on it, a women's long sleeve shirt with the logo on it, or a Divine Mercy statue. And all of these are because of our wonderful donors that we have. They go out and they bring these donations to us, give us these wonderful prizes. $500 donors receive one of those prizes above, plus a 60-second spot to celebrate whatever you might like. And $1,000 donors get all of that, plus 2 tickets to our annual banquet. And we will have a guest speaker of Catholic Answers host Joe Heschmeyer. Tomorrow morning, we will have Jim Mall on stewardship, Maddie Quimby talking about teacher perspective, public versus Catholic versus homeschool, Father Nick Parker talking about mercy versus justice, Father Trinity with a vocation story, and that will be our morning. And then we will round out the day with Father Curtis Carlson, Father Ben Green, Mandy Mayer, Corey Munch and Christian Lutz, and then Gordon and Mary Schrader. So we have a pretty awesome lineup tomorrow. I look forward to being back with you guys then.
And you're only going to be here half a day tomorrow?
Yes,
Is it all
half a
right?
day tomorrow. And then
so
I think
Jim Mall is going to come in this afternoon or in the
so I get to
afternoon.
interview him in the morning, and then he comes in the afternoon.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do want to also thank everybody for, especially the people who came in and spoke today, because I know they're on here for maybe 50 minutes, but it takes several hours to prepare for that. So I just want to thank everyone for doing that. And as far as a prayer, why don't we end with a Hail Mary?